Hey dudes and dudettes, for today's Nostalgia Fix, we're going to talk about retro toys you can still buy today. And as you can see, there's a lot here, but I'm going to go through it rather quickly. And we have stuff that's from clear back from like the 1940s all the way up to the 1990s. And some of the stuff is actually pretty new, like these Switch games here, but they harken back to retro times. So let's just start with the Slinky, right? This has been around for decades and decades. You all remember different variants of this, but it still exists, still made in the USA. Pretty dang cool. And if you don't know what these do, they just go downstairs one after the other, kind of like a Jacob's ladder. Along those lines, we have koosh balls. These are just kind of fun. They stretch out. It's just kind of like almost like a sensory toy or like a fidget toy from the 80s is when I believe these came out. So these are a lot of fun, great stocking stuffers if you're watching this around Christmas, which I assume a lot of you are. And then this is kind of a wild card, pardon the pun, Garbage Pail Kids. In the 1980s, parents absolutely hated these things. They were just kind of like gross cards based on the Cabbage Pail Kids, but they're called Garbage Pail Kids. And I'll open this up in maybe a YouTube short or something like that so you can see what they look like. But yeah, because our parents hated them, we wanted them all the more. Same thing with a whoopee cushion. I shouldn't have to explain this. Most of you guys know what this is, but you can still buy these. Just like before, it's easy to break these. My little kid jumped on it or pushed it too hard or something and it popped. So you have to be really delicate with these or else they'll just explode like a balloon. But great little prank item. A lot of you probably remember the Viewmaster. Maybe this is one of your first toys. Basically, you just cycle through and then there's a new image on each one. So it kind of works like film, and I don't know if you can see that there, but there's like different animals in these different slides, and all you have to do is hold this to a light, and you can cycle through and see the different animals or whatever it is. It could be buildings, it could be cars. It's just a way to see the world through this. Oh, speak and spell. Okay, this one I'm going to have to power on.
Spell level A. Press go to begin. Now try for as in for someone. F-O-R.
I don't know if you can hear that or not.
That is correct. Next spell, calf. T-A-L-F. That is correct. Next spell, hole.
So basically all this was a way to figure out how to spell when you were smaller. And it's still a great gift. It's a lot of fun. Very retro. Came out in the 80s. I believe the 80s. And a lot of kids had these. This was kind of like their first computer, if you want to call it that. A lot of fun. All right, next thing we're going to talk about here is these little water toys. And there's a lot of these out there. But basically the goal is to try to get the rings on the little stems there, the little poles, whatever you want to call them. And it just uses air bubbles, air pressure. So there's water in there. And these were really fun growing up to play with. I think a lot of you might remember that. And see right there, I just got a green ring on the little pole right there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but these were a lot of fun. This is cool. So this is a handheld retro gaming, a portable gaming device. I got this for like $25 when it came out. So let's see here. Featured games. It's got like 1942, 1943, Bad Dudes. I think you can get this for like 20 bucks now. Gunsmoke. Keep going down here. Strider. I want to go to Mega Man 2. That was like my favorite growing up. Let's go to Woodman. So the screen isn't like the best, but I mean, like 20 bucks. This makes a really good either gift or stocking stuffer, or if it's somebody's birthday or whatever. Great stuff. And you just power it off like that quick. Super awesome. Here's the box it came with. There's some of the games right there, just to name a few. And a lot of them are Capcom games. All right, I didn't have time to take this out. I'll do a separate video on this, and just let me know in the comments if you want me to do a separate video on any one of these toys. And that's something, hopefully I'll get time to do that. But I love these old handhelds from Tiger. I had Double Dragon, and Obviously, this is Jurassic Park, but they were just, before we had Switch, before we had Steam Deck, before we had iPhones, it was all about these. And they also had watches too. I had a Double Dragon watch. And the graphics, if you can call it that, are pretty terrible. They're just basically monochromatic, black inky shapes on the screen. But you know what? It worked for us. And there was many times I was waiting in the car, and I was bored while my parents were running errands, and these things saved our bacon. Saved my parents' bacon too. Micro Machines, maybe you guys remember that, especially the Micro Machines guy who would talk like 100 words per minute. It just super, super fast. Maybe it was faster than that. But I always remember loving these. I had the little lunchbox that turned into a small city. That was a lot of fun. But they still sell these. These are on the market. Hungry Hippos. This is another thing I wanted to unpack, but I mean, there's a lot I need to do with this channel. There's a lot of stuff I need to unpack and take care of and make videos of. But I'm just running out of time. I still have a full-time job. None of this is sponsored. So I just get to what I can. But yeah, this is definitely a fun game. Basically, the goal is to try to get as many marbles as you can. And whoever gets the most marbles wins. And the way to do that is you hit this little flap on the back of the hippo and they chomp on the marbles. Super simple, super fun, super energetic. Just a great time killer at a party or just at a Friday night if you have nothing to do. Super fun game. So here's another video game collection here. And I'm going to mention these two, both Cowabunga Collection and Shredder's Revenge. This is a new game, but it's definitely retro inspired. Just a lot of fun. If you haven't played either of these, basically this one has all of the old Ninja Turtle games, including the arcade ones. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, all of that. This one is a totally brand new beat 'em up. And it looks kind of like an old Sega or Super Nintendo game. I'd say probably a little bit better. And better animation, better moves. It's just a love letter to those who played Ninja Turtle games. And I think it's way better than the old ones, which wasn't too hard to do considering Konami, slapped the first one together and it wasn't that great. But if you love Ninja Turtles, if you love the pixel art, you got to pick this one up. A lot of you probably have heard of that one already. Super great games. Okay, this one I remember playing with my sisters. They had one of these in their room, and it's a Light Bright. And these have changed over the years. This used to be like a really big box. It had like one of those old incandescent light bulbs that was inside of it.
Light bright, make a face to glow at night.
Just pop in the colored pegs and follow the patterns. It's easy to make beautiful pictures with Light Bright.
But basically the idea is the same. My kid has these pieces here. But basically you just put these in. But you can see all these little colored pegs here that my son has. And see, I've already lost one. And that's a memory also, losing these little pegs. It happens, guys. What do you do? But basically you put these in. And there's a little power button on the back that lights them up. And I don't know if you can see that lit up very well. Just a little. But you can make shapes and designs and stuff like that. And it's a great memory. A lot of fun. You can see it's just wrapping. You can see some of the designs they do on the back and stuff like that. And I'm sure you can find some online and they come with ideas and things like that in the box. But this was a really great toy, really good memory builder. And you can just reset it when you're done. You just pull out the pegs and you're good to go. This is just a sign my wife got me. I think that makes sense given the context of this video. Okay, down to our last two, and these are kind of like older toys. You got your marbles. I'm not going to take all these out simply because I don't want to make a mess, but there you go. Just a big box of marbles. Nothing too fancy. But these are great. A lot of marble games you can play. And we're probably going to do a different video on that one too. And then the last one is this Tonka tractor. These are so great. I actually have a funny memory of this growing up where I was at my aunt's and uncle's house and they had this beautiful lawn in their backyard. And being a little boy, I thought, wouldn't it be great to make a road through that lawn? So I used one of these and I cut like this half circle through their lawn. And I thought they'd be impressed. They were not impressed. They were actually pretty ticked off. But yeah, just one of those childhood memories. But we used to play with this in their sand pit in the backyard. They had a sandbox back there, and they had a garden and all that stuff, and just a lot of great memories associated with Tonkas. And I also had, you know, the dump truck and stuff like that. And when I lived out in Joshua Tree, California, I made this huge old sand pit where I had all this construction equipment, and these are great for little boys, or I guess little girls who want to be into construction or whatever. It's just a great toy. But yeah, I think that's it for now. If you want to see any of these retro toys in a single video, just let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. But other than that, I hope that gave you some great gift ideas for Christmas, for a birthday, for a loved one, whatever. And with that, we will see you guys in the next video. Hey everyone, just wanted to give you a quick PSA. As many of you know, YouTube is paying its creators less and less, and currently our channel isn't even monetized. We'd love if you'd help the channel out by becoming a patron so we can keep bringing you videos like these, which of course includes Ninja Turtle toys and merchandise, as well as going on field trips to bring you more of that content. But our channel is much more than that. We do videos on sweet retro cars, we visit malls and retro stores that are slowly being phased out or shut down, we talk about nostalgic video games, movies, and TV shows, and anything else that gets those memories flowing. So thank you in advance, and we'll see you in the next video.
Hey friends, I bet you thought we were going to do the same outro. You were wrong. You were wrong.